Right. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to everybody across the Asia Pacific. Can everybody hear me okay? Can someone post something on the chat just in case there's an issue with my microphone and everything? Okay, great. Fantastic. Welcome to the second touch point for our 30-day long virtual hackathon, Hack for Better Days. And yeah, it's great to have you guys on board. Yeah, this is the second touch point. It means that we've already been 2 weeks into the hackathon. Many of the people have already started the work. We've had quite a number of people who have joined us recently. So welcome to the newcomers as well. And so in this touch point, we're gonna go over quite a number of things, and hopefully we can answer some questions if you have any, and also help those newcomers to find their way through the hackathon, and also just if they're looking for any teams, we're going to help them to join or form a new team. Today's touch point is going to be shorter than the first one. The shorter one was had a longer version of our touch point series, and yeah, we had a recap of the opening ceremony because we had quite a technical difficulty, so we went through everything else. But for today, we're gonna mostly focus on you guys. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer. Before I move forward, I'd like to thank our sponsors. That you can see the list and the logos on the screen. Thanks for their support. Yeah, they provided prizes, they have provided mentorship, and many other kinds of support. So we really, really appreciate everything. Just a quick overview of what we're going to discuss today. I'm going to provide you with some updates and general information for those who missed or they were not here with us in the first 2 weeks of the hack. So I'm going to provide some information for everybody. We're going to just quickly touch on the build a map competition, and we can move on to questions and answer afterwards. And at the end, we can if there are people online who are looking for teams or looking for other people to join their team, we can quickly go through them and help them to join the team or grab people. Yeah, just a reminder, if you guys haven't joined the Slack, please do that. That requires you to register on our Hackathon website, and you will receive an email with the link to the Slack, so you can use that link to join. All of the communications and announcements and the resources are available on the Slack. So if you haven't joined, please do that. Yeah, just a recap of the Hackathon timeline and where we are right now. So we started on the 24th, had our first touch point on the 2nd of May last weekend, and this is the second touch point, and that we're gonna touch base with you on like how you're going, and if you have any questions, we're gonna answer that. Next week, we're gonna have another touch point, which will be an interesting one. The last week of the hackathon between 15th and 24th of May is going to be the pitch preparation week. So by then you will have an idea for your projects. You've already developed it, fingers crossed. And yeah, we're going to provide you with quite a number of workshops to prepare your pitch and the presentation that you will submit before 24th of May. And after that, The judging process will happen, and on the 5th of June during the closing ceremony, we're gonna announce the winners. If you have any questions or you don't have any information about what's going to happen in any of these days or throughout the hackathon, I highly encourage you to watch the recording of the first touch point on the 2nd of May. It's available on the YouTube channel of the hack, and yeah, there are a lot of information that you can refer to. So if you feel confused and you don't receive the information that you're after today, probably it's because most of the stuff that we've covered during the first touch point, you haven't seen them, so you can refer back to that. Yeah, let's give you some updates about what's happening in what's been happening during the hackathon in terms of like the streams and the challenges that the participants are working on, and also like the participants and the teams that we have. We have had quite a number of participation. Currently, we're sitting at nearly 800 participants working on projects across both streams. That's a very motivating sort of factor for us to keep going and supporting you guys. We're really looking forward to seeing what you guys will create and present, and hopefully those solutions will be used to help people in the world, in the outside world. Yeah, again, please, if you haven't watched the Touchpoint 1, refer to our YouTube channel. It's available on the Slack. It's one of the channels over there, and yeah, you can get a lot of information there. That's the address, the YouTube channel. You don't really need to take note. I will share these slides on the in one of the announcements right after this presentation. And yeah, so just to have a recap of what sort of challenges and streams that we've got. We have a stream 1, build an application, which will require you to build a web or mobile-based application to help with the COVID-19 situations in your community and your country. You can participate in this stream as an individual or as part of a team of up to 7 people. The submission will close on the 24th of May, on the last day of the hackathon. But be aware that the team registration will close on the 14th of May. So we want to make sure that the teams are registered by then, so we can touch base with them regarding the last mile of the hack in terms of preparing for the submissions and also the pitches and presentation. And as we discussed during the first touch point, there will be 2 rounds of judging, one at the regional level, and the finalists will be invited to present their ideas and their apps at the APAC level afterwards. For stream 2, we like you to build a map using Here Studio. It's a very easy to use tool provided by Here Technologies, and yeah, you can quickly bring your data or create data within this platform and create very exciting interactive maps. So we'd like to encourage you to join that challenge and create informative and interactive maps that people in your community or in your country can use to deal better with the COVID-19 situation. As opposed to the stream 1, this the build a map challenge is on an individual basis only, so you can't be in a team to build a map. So, but the good news is, if you're participating in stream 1, you can also participate in stream 2. So yeah, you will have that will increases the chance of you winning a prize. definitely must use Here Studio. We don't want you to use any other technologies or platforms to build a map. And yeah, there are tutorials and examples provided to you on the Slack channel, and also there's a video. There are a couple of videos on the YouTube video that you can use. For this stream, the submission will close on the 24th of May. So you will have plenty of time to create your map and submit it. And the submission requirements are very simple. As opposed to stream 1, there's only one round of judging. Once you submit on the 24th, we will have a few days to review and assess your submissions, and like stream 2, we will announce the winners on the closing ceremony day. There are some general rules that apply to both. You can not necessarily rules, but you can participate in both streams, as I mentioned. These challenges and streams are open to Asia Pacific residents only. If your country is within this region, you're eligible, but if you're living in a country outside of this area, then you won't be qualified to join the hack. So sorry if there was a misunderstanding and you joined, but you're not residing in APAC. In terms of submission requirements, we will announce them shortly in the next few days, and you can start submitting your projects if they're ready. Just wanted to highlight that there are judging criteria that you need to address. I'm not going to go through the details because everything has been covered in the touchpoint 1 in more details. So I highly encourage that you go back and watch that video rather than listening to me talking about this over and over again. So yeah, I just want to highlight and encourage you to pay attention to these judging criteria and stick with them and in your projects. There are a number of general rules that we would like you to follow, and they're really, really important. First of all, you need to be registered for the hack to be able to participate. If any of you or your team members are not registered for the hack, please make sure that you are, because that can be a factor for disqualifying you, no matter like how good your submission is. If we find that one of the team members is not registered, then you may get into trouble. So the teams for the Build an App challenge, the stream 1, can consist up to 7 people, but the mapping challenge is on an individual basis only. So if in both streams, all the participants and team members should register for a Here developer account, regardless of whether you're the developer building the app or not. You have to have a developer account. So go to developer.here.com and create an account. That will give you a chance to explore what's there. Even though you're not developing, at least you can help with the ideation and also and helping your team to build a very good app. There's another important rule that probably makes sense. Each participant should not be a part of multiple teams. So if you're participating in the Build an App challenge and you're in a team, you can't be a part of a second team. So if you find out that this is happening, you will be disqualified, and both of those teams will be disqualified too. So be careful. All the team members within one team should come from one region, because the assessment and the evaluation of the project happens at the regional level first, and then we announce the finalists. So if you're for example in Southeast Asia, you can't have a team member that is within Oceania region or sitting in New Zealand and Australia. As I mentioned before, if you're a part of a team that's building an app, you still can participate in the Stream 2 competition. So that's very clear. Again, your submissions, make sure your submissions address the judging criteria. One of the things that we've already passed that point is that like all the apps should be new and built for this hackathon. If you built and submitted an application for another hackathon or for whatever other purpose, you cannot use that in the hackathon now. In the beginning, we announced that the code that you used for other for your previous app should be made available to all the other participants, because that's only fair. You can't be 10 steps ahead of other participants. So yeah, hopefully that's sensible to use well. If your team wins, then we will be allowed to go through a code review process, making sure that you actually develop that app and you're on top of your application. And there are also prizes provided by the partners as category prizes. Yeah, for example, if you use IBM or OutSystems or Twilio or Postman technologies in your solutions, then during the submission, you can nominate yourself to receive that category prize. And the category prizes are those that if you use that technology, there are prizes that there will be judges from those companies that and then they will choose the best sort of an integration project that uses their technology as well. So yeah, make sure that if you use those technologies, you nominate yourself for those prizes too. And the last rule that we want to emphasize on, if you're using location services, which you must in this hackathon, all your solutions should use a location service or a location component in your solution. And if you're using that, it has to come from Here Technologies. So if you're using any of the competitors or other solution providers location services, then that will be a reason to disqualify you, regardless of the quality of your application. So be conscious of that. All right, I'm going to quickly touch on build a map. It's a very easy to challenge, and if you look at some of the videos that we have on the YouTube channel, yeah, it's very easy, and it's a quick way to inform your communities about the location of resources or dangerous areas or something like that. And there are like many good prizes for the winners. So we highly encourage you to join that stream as well. So if you're interested, express your interest using that link. That link has been provided to you on the Slack channel as well. And make sure you watch these tutorials, and you will see how easy it is to build an app, a map. Yeah, if you guys are here and you don't have teams, stay tuned. At the end of this session, we're going to have a quick chat about the team formation. So there are multiple ways that you can find other team members or join a team. First of all, join the team formation video on the YouTube channel. It's video number 2. There are a number of Trello boards that you can introduce yourself based on the provided template, and you can interact with other people in a drag and drop way. Yeah, they can drag their cards into their projects, or you can negotiate with them and talk to them, and then join their team. If you were not comfortable with the Trello boards, there are Slack channels. We call them regional Slack channels, that you can introduce yourself and your skill set, and you can have a chat with those guys and join their team, or bring someone on board in your team. It's not too late to bring new people on board the hackathon. So if you have a technical friend or someone who is knowledgeable in their field and can help with your project, invite them, ask them to register and join your team. But if you're still struggling, if you went through all of these things and you're still struggling finding a team member or joining a team, please reach out to one of the organizers, including myself and others, and we will help you to find a team. And that's been it's something that we've been doing in the past few days, and we had quite a number of successful cases that we could match people together. This is a snapshot of all the channels that we've got. So as you can see there on the left, we have a region Oceania, region North Asia, region South Asia, and region Southeast Asia. So join those channels and start interacting with people from your region to join the team or form one. As you can see, there are other channels, like you can ask the organizers, and also there's a Hack YouTube channel that you can watch the previous videos too. Once you have your team, make sure that you have your team registered. The team registration will close on the 14th of May. And there won't be any extension, so make sure that your team is registered by then. Yeah, with that, I am going to wish everybody good luck. And if you have other friends who you think they're interested, ask them to join. And if you like, promote the hack on your social networks as well. So with that, I'd like to ask everybody to just either post your questions or raise your hand using the GoToWebinar tool, and I'll be here to answer your questions and help you with whatever inquiries that you may have. Okay, I'm still waiting for you guys to post your questions. I'm going to give you a couple minutes to, yeah, maybe you're not familiar with the GoToWebinar structure. At the same time, I'm going to unmute everybody. And if you have any questions or is it anything, you can basically speak up. No questions so far.
Hello.
Yes. Aditya, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
Good, good. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I have one question. Could you please touch on the judging criteria once more?
Yes, I can do that. However, there's a more extensive version of the judging criteria on the touchpoint one. Yeah, let's go through that again today. So let me start with stream one. The first mandatory criteria is the use of geolocation services. As I mentioned, if you're having as part of your build and application process, you should have a location component in it, and that should use geolocation services. That's pretty much clear. So the second one, the relevance of your application and the level of innovation. So basically, we want to ask, we will ask how the application is relevant to the topic of the hack, which is COVID-19, and there are substreams for building an app stream. So you can again refer back to the touchpoint one, and they're all there. And the second question is like how innovative your application is, and that these two criteria will constitute 20% of the points for assessment. The second and third criteria will be feasibility and completeness. Basically, is the project feasible to implement in the community, or how fully has the idea been implemented? And that's another 20%. And then we will look at the design and usability of your solution. How good is the design, user experience, and ease of use of the solution? And also, we're going to look at how quickly that solution can be put into use. And yeah, that's a more important sort of factor, and that will constitute like 30% of the points. Lastly, we're going to look at the impact of your solution and also scalability of that. Basically, ability of the app to make a difference in the community. We're going to look into the scalability, if the if the solution is scalable for larger geographic extent or broader community, or is it technically sound to scale it to a larger pool of users? Yeah, and that will be another 30%. For stream 2, we're looking at the creativity level of use of Here Studio, how creatively you can use Here Studio to build your map, relevance to the topic, visualization quality, like in terms of the color usage, symbols, yeah, and all the styles and all those things. And the importance of that map to the community is an important criteria. And lastly, the data that you're using to build that map, we're going to look at that and test if, its effectiveness. So I hope that's clear, but I'm here if you have any questions.
Yeah, one more question I have. Is it possible to use dynamic data in Here Studio? Can we link Here Studio with some kind of APIs?
What sort of data do you have in mind?
Data which will give real-time information about COVID-19.
I believe
Location
you can.
specific data. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any kind of tutorial or videos for this?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any kind of videos which helps to connect Here Studio and APIs?
Well, I highly encourage you to watch one of the videos. I think Raymond Camden went through the basics and the advanced feature of the Here Studio. Just watch that one first. And if you didn't get the information that you're after, please get in touch with me, and yeah, and we can go through it together.
I hope it's available on YouTube, right?
Yes, it's available on the YouTube channel. Let me just check to point you to the right direction. It's video. Which video is that?
It will be really helpful if you share that in Slack.
Yeah, it's video number 3. Its title is Introduction to Here Studio and Data Hub Platforms.
Okay, I will check that.
It's a little over an hour of just explaining different aspects of the Here Studio and the Data Hub.
Okay.
Excellent. Any other questions from people? Yeah, we have another question. Hi, I just wanted to ask a simple question. If our team needs to use any IBM tools, what kind of support can be provided in terms of usage, since the tools are not free to use? Excellent question. We have a channel. Let me show you. Where is my Slack? Yeah, we have a channel called IBM Mentors, and there are quite a number of mentors from IBM, and you can reach out to them and get more access to their tools. If they were not responding, again, contact me, and I will make sure that I'll connect you with them. I hope that question is I could answer your question. Yeah, fantastic. Can you, if there's no other question, is there anybody here that doesn't have a team or is looking for another team member? Just use the chat to say yes. Can you all access the chat panel? Okay, doesn't seem that that anybody's looking for a team. Yeah, if you are, or if you know someone who's still struggling finding a team or joining a team, please either yourself or ask them to reach out to me, and I will help them to find a team. Yeah, there's nothing else from my end that I want to discuss with you. If you have anything else, a question or a comment, yeah, the forum is open, and please just speak up. If you don't, please feel free to leave the webinar, because there's nothing else that we want to discuss for today. Really appreciate your attendance, however, but yeah, and then we'll be in touch on the Slack channel. Yeah, some people are thanking me. You're welcome, and all the best with your projects. I'll be there to support you, and we have the organizing committee and the mentors to help you with your projects too. Feel free to reach out any time, and we'll do our best to support you. Cheers. Yeah, okay, everybody has left the webinar, so I'm just gonna end it. Thank you again, and see you next time.